If you want to score one-play touchdowns while still having elite run plays and a great red zone offense in college football 26, I found the perfect playbook for you. In this video, I'm breaking down the complete guide to my 5-play Oregon State offense that will be lighting up the scoreboard every single drive. If you're serious about winning more games here in CFB 26 and want to finally have an offense that you're comfortable in, this is going to be the perfect video for you, so don't skip out on any of the plays I have for you today. Let's jump right into it. The first thing any great offense needs is a one-play touchdown. Let me show you the best one here that I like right now from the Oregon State offense. So we're going to come here into Y-off trio close. This play is going to be motion PA cross switch. All right, what I would say with this, always make sure that you have your trio on the short side, just like this. You're going to put your B receiver on a drag. You're going to use base protection most likely, and then you're going to put your running back on a shriek just like this. The reason why this is going to work is because of the crossing route to Walker here. He's going to influence this inside third. This is going to be great mostly against cover 3 defenses, but we're going to take the snap, and as long as we have time to throw, we're going to step up in the pocket, and then we're just going to be able to let that pass go. Lob pass it over the top. He's going to get up and behind that inside third every single time, and you're just going to have an easy score. You do notice where the ball is, though. We're at like the 30-yard line almost, right? 70 yards away from the end zone. The reason why is because we need plenty of room to be able to let this ball go in the air. You see I have really great pocket to step all the way up in the pocket, and then this right here, right? Boom, inside third. You just see how he's basically just dropping, rotating, because he feels like, hey, my teammate, this guy's running a shriek, so my teammate's going to guard him. But then the uniqueness of this route to be able to bend it off and then get behind the inside third for an easy score. Again, you know, want to make sure that you understand that this really only works on the short side, and it's really dangerous in cover 3. Now, you can call this play. There's going to be times where you call this play and they switch to a cover 2 defense, and you really shouldn't panic, because you still, as long as you're going to have time to throw, like, you can still hit that crosser in the middle and turn that into a huge gain, right? As long as you throw it on time. You can also look to your running back shriek in the middle of the field, right out of the backfield. That can be a wide open option too. So you're still going to have options, but also understand if you get shedded, like, you do catch them in cover 3, but you know that their sheds are really great. Hit this drag, right? That's going to be a great option for you in the middle of the field, especially their user is going to be kind of caught in no man's land, probably trying to guard that crosser right here, and then you're just going to be able to just look for your drag underneath. So really just going through the progression. You see it again, cover 3 defense, step up in the pocket. We have plenty of time, and then we just let that ball go over the top. Our quarterback is like, oh wow, he dropped that. That's a really bad drop. But it's just the fundamentals of how this play works, as far as this guy being able to get behind this inside third, and as long as you have a quarterback who can make an accurate throw and not sail it in the air, right, you have all this room over here to complete one down the field. So really, motion PA cross switch dominates cover 3 defenses with a simple route concept like this, with this unique route. But also, it doesn't really matter the defense. You have your running back shriek, you have your drag, and you have your crosser for other easy pickups. Having a great one-play touchdown is fantastic, but you also want to be able to make the game easy for yourself with a toxic RPO. Let me show you the best one right now from this Oregon State playbook. This has been dubbed for the last 2 years really as the most toxic and unguardable RPO in the game. RPO read Y flat from gun Y off trips. You can call this anywhere in the field, whether it's in the open field like this or down in the red zone, and you're just going to be able to pick up easy yards because you have 4 really good options. You're either going to throw the ball out to the flat. That's your first read. The second read should really be this backside curl route to your B receiver. The third read should be handing the ball up to your running back. And then the fourth read, if all 3 of those are somehow taken away, then you can keep the ball with your quarterback on the read option. But we go with it right here. We just see how we're going to try to throw that pass out there. That would have been an example of probably when I would have just tried to hit my curl route, right? Because you're also reading the read key defender. That's what makes his RPO so dangerous. On that play, he kind of dropped out and drifted to guard the RPO. Right here, we're going to see what he does. If he drops out, no, he's going to crash down, and so that's really when you try to throw that. Now, certainly you still need that outside receiver, whoever's in that spot, to actually block that guy. this might be an example. They're overloading that side, right? And so, I'm sorry, I said the R. It's the P, the pass key guy that you want to be looking at here to determine if you're throwing the ball. You see how he's kind of just standing there, not really guarding either of them really, and so we're going to be able to just throw that pass out there and turn it into a gain. So the purple icon, P over his head, the guy that you're reading, you just see how he kind of does a good job here. So we just end up throwing that curl on the other side of the field and turn that into an easy completion, right? So again, boom, go through it. He's kind of just in no man's land. We just have an easy pickup, run that guy. Oh, I thought I could run that guy over, so we can turn that into more yards. It's going to be hard to stop because, again, you have 4 options. You can keep it with your quarterback, just like I do right here, because that read key defender, the guy with the R over his head, crashes down to my running back. So that's really what it is. Boom. I want to keep it here, right? What I really was reading on that play, right? We get that block, and then can Murphy get there? Boom. Does he have the wheel? I think he's going to have the wheels, and we're able to score right there. What I did on that play was I saw the pass key defender drifting out to defend the pass, right? We look at the replay. I saw this guy drifting out to defend the pass. I saw this probably wasn't going to be open, right? This man was right here. So then I immediately pivot to this man, right? And I see that he's crashing down on the running back, so I just keep it with my quarterback, and now you just reap the benefits because look at all this running room down here, and then we're able to go score a touchdown. So that's really what this play is. You have great options. If they're going to run off-man coverage like they are right here, we're just going to easily throw this curl on the backside and turn that into an easy completion. So really, there's not a whole lot that they can do to stop this play when you actually utilize all 4 of your options. Don't sleep on the running back, right? Now, obviously, that would be a time where you keep it, right? If they're going to continuously crash on the running back, you're just continuously going to keep it right here. They're not going to crash on the running back, and so then we're just going to hand it off. So you have 4 options, like I said, flat first, then the curl, then the quarterback, and then the running back really as the last option, depending on what the read key defender does. But again, this RPO going to be super toxic and really hard to stop. Alright, so if you found either of those first 2 plays here from the Oregon State offensive ebook helpful, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down college football 26 tips and tricks to help you guys get better every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Oregon State offensive ebook with videos, screenshots, write-ups, everything you're going to need to dominate an offense from this playbook, go to the link down below in the pinned comment to grab today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. Again, it goes through one-play touchdowns, red zone setups, the best run plays to use, and it's really going to transform the way you're able to play offense. So I encourage you to check it out, and let's jump right back into the video. Because next I want to break down everything beater. Yes, it's able to beat every single defense in the game, and it's something that's actually new to this offense. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to come here into gut bunch, strong, nasty, motion, vert, shallow, cross. All right, what we're going to do, put RB on a crosser, put B on a shriek, and we are going to drag our tight end and then put X on a flat. So kind of changing up the route concept a lot right here. But the reason why this works, and that's the thing about some of these plays, sometimes you're just trying to take advantage of one unique route, okay? And that one unique route here on this play is going to be this running back wheel route that we're trying to take advantage of. You see how right here, right, I'm going to set it up just like this. This route's unique because what you're going to see is where he breaks. You're going to notice where his wheel route kind of breaks. This is the stock, this is the stock wheel on the play. If I hot route him to a wheel, that changes just the way he runs a little bit, and sometimes that's all the difference in the play. So again, reset the play, set it up the same way, and you're just going to watch out on this play. We have them in a random defense right here, so you're just going to notice how he's able to get in between those zones a whole lot better. I've labbed it, I've tested it, versus if you actually hot route him to a wheel route. This wheel route, just its ability to get in between these zones makes it super effective. You see that they're blitzing right here, and so again, we're able to find that wheel route in between those zones. And again, what makes it so dangerous is instead of him, like most wheel routes, they just keep running too far out to the sideline, right? So we look at the replay right here. This route, like a lot of other wheels, would end up all the way out here, right? But this one cuts at the perfect time, gets in between the zones, synced up to the time when this flat defender has to run out here, because you see how the flat defender is just running out here to defend the flat area of the field, just like that. And because we have a flat route, right? And so he gets pushed out there. So we go with it again, boom, take it. You're just able to see how, against pretty much every zone defense, right? You're just going to be able to throw that wheel. You've seen I've called the play 3 times. So that's really one of the first reads, right? The first read really should be the drag, then the wheel, and probably then the crosser. But we go with it again, you can step up in the pocket. And that's the thing about everything beater, right? You're trying to never take sacks, and I kind of broke the rule right there, taking a pretty bad sack, because the reality is you're calling a play that you can beat every defense. I have them in a random defense. I'm not really reading the defense. I'm just, going to my receivers after the ball snapped, reading the play and how they're kind of defending it. But you're able to go through with this, and you're always going to pretty much have positive plays. Man coverage right here, no one really is open, and so I'm kind of forced to just throw the ball away to someone. So I mean, like, that can happen if they run man. That's about the only way for them to stop this, is they get lucky in man coverage. But for the most part, it's like you're just going to have guys open every single play with this. So first read, like I said, tight end drag. It's the easiest, simplest. If they don't have flats in the field, hit it. Then you're looking to your running back wheel route right up the seam, because those flat zones are going to get pushed outside by that flat route. And then your third read really is trying to get the ball to your crosser, over the middle of the field. So boom, you go through it. They give you that seam right there. Their user's out of position. You're going to be able to throw that. So this play, it's actually called motion vert shallow cross here. When you set it up just like that, you're going to have guys wide open on every single play, making it one of the best everything beaters in the game. Alright, and before I jump to those final 2 plays that you're absolutely not going to miss here in College Football 26, I wanted to remind you to go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down College Football 26 tips and tricks every single day, and I'm the only one doing it right now, so you don't want to miss out on any of the free content that I have. But let's jump into those final 2 plays. Because next I want to show you the best run play here from this Oregon State offense. Balance is really important when you're building an entire offensive scheme, and this run is going to help you do just that. So we're going to come here to gun bunch a strong offset here, all right, and we're going to be calling our play duo. We're going to have them in a random defense, and really what makes this run so good is if your linemen are not stupid like number 55, they're going to be able to get up here and double team that defensive tackle, which is the lane that you're going to follow, because double team blocks some of the most reliable in the game. And then when you're able to speed boost, around the field to pair with that double team block, this run's going to be really effective. You see against some fronts, right, they just have more guys to where you can't double team. But for the most part, it's like if they can get up there, double team that one defender, right, it's going to be pretty tough for him to shed blocks and allow you to get to the second level a whole lot easier. So again, we see where, that's just kind of a bad... That was actually kind of just good run defense right there. But you're going to see how this time I see it very easily. The gap's open right there. And so we're able to turn that into a first down very, very consistently. Another great thing about this is a lot of these automatic run defenses and gap shooting methods that I talk about all the time in defensive breakdowns, they're not necessarily the most viable against this run, right? And so when you can pair it up with a guy like Hankerson who could speed boost out of handoffs, get to the second level more quickly, it's going to be a whole lot easier. You're able to see right here where they walk their safeties down, but that doesn't guarantee good run defense because we're able to do a great job with that initial level. So boom, we go with it. And then when you have like 360 on your running back as well, whether you're playing Dynasty, you're playing Cut, or even if you're playing Regs, right? You have that ability. When you run up to a guy, a lot of the time, if you just press B on Xbox, circle on PlayStation, you're literally just going to be able to just dumb him out, right? Actually, I probably should have done it right there. I tried to juke instead of spin, but always playing to the strengths of your personnel is going to be really important. So we go with it again, boom, we speed boost, and then we're going to try to, spin these guys out. Always practice your speed boost, right trigger, left trigger, left stick where you're trying to run, but you're just able to see how, this is just easy yards every single time. And it's going to be no problem. Boom, you see it again, boost, and then we're going to try to spin. So really kind of a simple run, right? It doesn't really matter which way they shift their defensive line. A lot of time it doesn't even matter the look that they give you. Your offensive line pretty much does a great job, in my opinion, better than any other run play because you have a built-in double team block into the play, which really allows you to rip off these big gains and find these openings a whole lot faster. So again, bunch a strong offset, start using this duo run, get to the second level sooner, and then start speed boosting away for huge gains. The reality is you can build an entire offensive scheme perfectly, but if you can't score touchdowns in the red zone, your offense is going to be trash. So let me show you the best red zone money play here from this Oregon State offense. So our play here is going to be from gun trio, 4 wide receiver strong. We're going to be calling, it's called halfback direct snap, all right? We know how dangerous direct snap runs are, and this one, honestly, might be even better than the one from like Y off trips. The reason why that's the case is because you're able to get these pancake blocks really often, and you just win these reps with your guards. Obviously, like, it's a direct snap, so there's no like handoff animation. So when that's the case, there's less time for the defensive lineman to shed, which, like, he's able to get past the line of scrimmage like immediately. So you just see how, I mean, we have this team right here has a guard with an ability where he's just running through people, which it makes this even better. It makes it even easier. I think I've called this 5 times, and I don't think we've been touched into the end zone like once, right? It's just that good, right? And you're just able to see following your blocks, just like duo, but like it's better because it's a little bit, it's faster. Duo, there are some advantages, with speed boosting, when you have a little bit more time to set up your blocks, but it's like, with this run, you're just scoring touchdowns in the red zone easily. They literally have to do kind of what they're doing right here, stacking the box. Still don't think have been stopped with this run, right? You can call this at the 10-yard line. You can call this at the 1-yard line, right? I would recommend when you get inside this 10-yard line, you can go to this time and time again all throughout the game, because the reality is if they don't know the gap shoot for this, like they don't know have a good run defense, they don't know how to stop this in the backfield every time, what are you going to do? Like, we're calling it against random regular defenses. I think that's the first time that I kind of just had bad vision and just don't score, right? But for the most part, it's like you're just going to be running through these guys, getting downhill really quickly, and turning these field goals, which is probably happening to you, into just easy touchdowns when you get inside the red zone. So kind of simple here, not too much explaining. All you really have to do, take the snap. There's no handoff animation. You're able to get downhill really quickly and score a touchdown. So this run, halfback direct snap from trio, 4 wide receiver strong, certainly one that you need to be mixing in, because again, it's going to make your red zone offense 10 times better, because you're not having to pass. You're not even having to call RPOs. You're calling a simple run 4 times, getting downhill, and you're probably going to be able to score touchdowns, goal-to-go situations every single time. Alright, so if you found any of those 5 plays here from the Oregon State offense helpful, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down college football 26 tips and tricks every single day to help you guys get better, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Oregon State offensive ebook with videos, screenshots, write-ups, everything you're going to need to dominate an offense here from this playbook, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. Grab today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. Like I said, one-play touchdowns, money plays, red zone setups, completely transform the way you play offense. And if you want to see a gameplay of me running that against a live action opponent, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.